Hey guys, welcome back again to Dave's Dimension. Welcome back again for another video. Welcome back to the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme. So we're back again. We're having a little different angle today. Why, you ask? Because, well, the Dimension, the computer itself that's been powering, well, pretty much everything I've done, is finally, it's dying on me. I've mentioned this in a few different videos. we're gonna do a separate video showing what exactly I had in my original computer and what we're actually going to be able to salvage out of it. Okay. With that being said, I went and thankfully last week, Amazon Prime days, I was able to jump on a new computer. This isn't, in a perfect world, I would have loved to have built another computer because my original computer was built. Me and my brother built it together. My youngest brother, the runt in the litter himself. So, the old computer, long story short, it would power up. Everything powered up, but it wouldn't boot up. It wouldn't actually post unless I tried 5 or 6 or even some cases 8 times. And then finally it would kick in. It would start loading up Windows and everything else. The motherboard itself was going, the audio jacks on the back of the motherboard were dying. The only way I can get any kind of microphone audio or even speaker audio coming out was through the jacks on the actual tower itself, meaning it's passing through the line like through a USB connection. So yeah, everything was falling apart on that computer. The motherboard itself was probably about 7 or 8 years old. Most of the hard drives were about 5 years old. Graphics cards were about 7 or 8 years old as well. Processor, that is the CPU itself, about 5.5 years old. So there's a lot of components that were brand new, some that were just a couple years before. Suffice to say, that computer, she's on her way out. Like I said, I could start it 5 or 6 times and then it would load up into Windows. And it wasn't always the best graphics, the best quality. I've been experiencing more issues with my C922 camera that I usually had mounted on the dual monitors. So what did I get myself? I got one of those, I was in a pinch, I was in a bind, and what are you going to do when you're in a pinch, when you're in a bind? You're going to go for whatever you possibly can get. One, I didn't want a computer with a crap ton of bloatware. So what I did was, you know, all the rage right now, and plus with the shortage going on in the world, as far as microchips and CPUs and GPUs, especially graphics cards, they are up the yin-yang. I mean, in years gone by, they might have gone for maybe 2 to 4, even 5 or maybe 600 for the top graphics cards out there. Now, you're lucky if you can get a graphics card for 600-800, maybe on average. They're going online right now, you can look them up. They're ranging about $1,200 if not $1,400 for decent graphics cards, for really good graphics cards. If you can find one at like when they are in stock at like a Micro Center or something like that, hey, more power to you. You got the luck of the gods on your hand. Unfortunately, that is not the case for me. If I were to try and build a computer with current pricing, we're probably looking easily $2,000 to $3,000 if I were to try and get everything to do it myself. Yeah, that's not happening, guys. So Amazon Prime Day had some different versions of the iBUYPOWER gaming PC brand. iBUYPOWER, and also there's a few other ones. I can't think of the name right now. So I did my research. I watched every YouTube video I could possibly find. I did a bunch of research. These types of PCs, they are upgradable. I can take out the graphics card that's going to be in here and put something else in it. I can upgrade it. That is not the case if you go with maybe a Dell or an HP, Hewlett-Packard. Those are all proprietary parts. If I want to replace something, I have to get something that is approved, and that is an HP component for an HP computer. And a lot of times they have integrated graphics cards that are part of their janky little motherboard. So for someone like myself who would actually want to upgrade parts over time to help improve it and to help extend its life, that's not going to be a possibility. Sad but true. So I'm also going to put in the video description below, guys, I'm also going to have the specs. I'm going to have the link to this actual computer in case you're interested or you just want to take a look to see what I'm going to be working with, just, you know, from Jump Street. You guys can check that out. Also, I'm going to have a few other links in the description below. Now, I got this. This was actually being sold by Amazon. Now, there is a website for iBUYPOWER, and I'm also going to have that in the description below, guys. Everything that I'm going to be discussing, I'm going to have a ton of links in the description below. Now, there is the main website for iBUYPOWER, so you can basically type in, you can select what you want, and they'll build the computer and ship it out to you. Okay? So they do, I mean, it is kind of custom. It is, but it isn't, but it is. I mean, if you're looking for this type of GPU, as long as they have it in stock, you can get that one with this storage and that RAM and that case and that RGB lighting and this and that and that and this and this and that. And just chill to the next episode. No, I'm kidding. So don't mind me, guys. I'm a little wired because, well, it's been a long day. I just got done with my Monday through Friday 9 to 5 job. Well, 9 to 5:30. So without further ado, let's open up this box. Now, Amazon kind of ticked me off a little bit, guys. What they did was, okay, we had this flap closed, this flap closed, we had this flap like this. This one was kind of open. They didn't put much tape on here, guys. Like, this is, I mean, this is how it was. I could easily open this up and I could see it was a computer. So, the good thing was, I got the notification of it being delivered, and it just so happened to be on my lunch break. So I was able to run downstairs, because I live in an apartment building. I mean, anyone could have opened it up, see it's a computer, and ran off with it. So I was lucky enough that I happened to be on my little lunch, ran down, grabbed my package, and here it is. Now, I live in a good area, mind you. Don't get me wrong. But don't get me wrong now. I live in a great area, but I come from the east side. I come from basically a very tough part of the city of Buffalo, born and raised. So I tend to think the worst. Murphy's Law. Prepare for the worst. But hey, the worst doesn't come. I'm not necessarily disappointed, guys. So, oh boy. All right. There we go. Easier said than done. Okay, so let's get the show on the road. Okay? Got some reading to do, guys. Got to break out the brainy specs. Okay, here we go. Amazon, being sold by Amazon. Package includes Trace 4 MR case, gaming keyboard, gaming mouse, power cord, quick start guide, and accessory bag. Yeah, I mean, I have my HyperX keyboard, got from a GameStop a while back. I have my Razer mouse. Unless the keyboard and mouse that come with it are as good quality, I'm probably not going to be keeping them. Or I'll keep them as a backup in case an emergency happens. So, shows that all right there. This is pretty much the look of the case. RGB fully accessible or adjustable RGBs. Tempered glass, handle with care. Again, you get your basic branding, nice little graphic of it right there. And again, just repeats what we're going to have in here. Now, on the box itself, it will not show you your actual specs. We get a nice little image of what we're hoping that this will look like. This is just a stock image that they use for most of the shipping. And yeah, RGB, this is going to be different. I'm not used to having a gaming computer. Well, El Gigante, Old Faithful, the dimensional computer, that thing was, I had 2 GPUs because my youngest brother is an electrician. He liked to build his and keep upgrading his computer. He had 2 GPUs and he gave them to me. We put them in there. It was an I want to say an i5 Intel Pentium processor in there. Intel CPU. This though, guys, I am leaving Intel. I'm saying bye to Intel. On here, I went with an AMD processor. I also went with, I believe this is a Radeon GPU in here. I mean, that's what I purchased through Amazon, so we'll see if they came through or not. So, now like I said, in the description below, I'm going to have a link to the actual computer I purchased. That is as far as Amazon's listing, and you can see a full tech spec on there. There are some things that they don't list on there, but that's not Amazon's fault. That it happens to be, I mean, with any kind of listing, whether it's Amazon, Walmart, I mean, Best Buy, hell, even Micro Center, they're only going to be able to list the details that they are provided with by the manufacturers. I wanted to see the full list of HDMI ports. Is there VGA? You know, I wanted to just know everything that was on there. On the listing, they show pictures of the computer, except they don't show the actual back of it. So, and plus, if you're going to buy an iBUYPOWER, I highly recommend watching all the videos, all the various unboxings. Some people have had it where they work perfectly out of the box. Other people have had an issue where maybe one of the RGB lighting wasn't working. You know, sometimes it gets shook around in shipping. Something comes loose. That happens. So, without further ado, they even do a video on how you should open up your box and how you should unbox it. Believe it or not, they actually have a video on how to properly unbox your iBUYPOWER. Now, I'm actually going to find that video and I'm going to link it in the description below. I want to provide you guys with as much information as I possibly can. Of course, we have more warnings. We have the hashtag of iBUYPOWER. We have having trouble, contact us first. Customer service, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Pacific. There's a toll-free number and a general phone number as well. There's also tech support. So they do have tech support. Now, what I did was, not only did I buy this computer, but I also went for the optional 2-year, I think it's 2 years warranty through. So if anything physically happens, I have that warranty to kind of cover any kind of damage, which may or may not happen down the line. Here's our accessory bag, and they give us a nice little dust protective Ziploc. What do we have in here, guys? Okay, so we have, looks like a extra wire for a older style hard drive. Okay, looks like we have Wi-Fi antennas that I can put onto the back of the computer. Some of the iBUYPOWERs will have built-in Wi-Fi. Others, you have these little antennas that you have to actually affix to it. Now, me, with my main computer, I always like to just wire it directly into Ethernet. That's just me. I like to have a strong, nice, can't talk straight today. Nice, strong, solid connection. Now, what always cracks me up is, you guys gave me a CD drive, or a CD disc, right? A CD-ROM. Guess what? There's no drive on here. So what I'll probably do is I will make a copy of this and put it onto a thumb drive That way I have any of the additional wiring that I might, or any of the additional software or drivers that I might need. So we got this little ASRock disc right here. We got the book, B450M AC R2.0. Nice thick book here. I'll have to go through that at a later point in time. We got our power cord, and it says here, go to iBUYPOWER.com/review, follow instructions, get one of your free gifts. I don't know what the free gifts are. That's something I'm going to have to check out later. So for right now, we're just going to put this back into its nice little protected bag. Nicely branded iBUYPOWER. And by the way, in case anyone's wondering, no, this video is not sponsored. Not by Amazon, not by iBUYPOWER. It's sponsored by Dave's Dimension. Now, oh boy, this should be interesting. Okay, so here we go, guys. This is the keyboard. We're going to set that down right now. And I'm not sure. I think the mouse might also be in there. Now, just to be careful, just to be safe, I'm going to actually flip this over. Sorry about that. Want to be careful with this as much as possible. Like I said, guys, tempered glass. There's the box. Okay. There we go. Here's the bottom. What's cool about this, just right off the bat, guys, there's actually screen mesh. So for dusting purposes, it just slides right into these little corners. Pops right in. Let me tilt it so you guys can see right here. This is a nice mesh that actually comes out for cleaning purposes. You can already see part of the back here. Okay, lift the foam off. Be nice and protective, and of course they're on brand with their logo, iBUYPOWER. Whenever I see this logo, I always think Thundercats. That's just me, guys. So again, we have this one's actually magnetic as far as the dust screen. Now there is a nice vent here, guys. Okay, so switching to the cell phones, so you guys can get a nice overview here. Now of course we get a little power button, 2 USB type 3, microphone, earphone jack. As far as the control for the for the RGB, I don't show control out here, so we'll see what happens once we get inside. Now usually a lot of the unboxing videos actually will show a foam that's inside. Now clearly we don't see that, guys. There is nothing protecting this on the inside, so I'm going to have to take a look at everything inside just to make sure that everything's intact and in one piece. Now I'm going to go over this in just a few moments. I want to check everything out here first. They put protective labels here so that you're not plugging power right in right away, and this is obviously covering all the ports, USBs, and usually their basic HDMI. They always say use the HDMI on your graphics card, and that's obviously what we're going to do here. Here are the two little mini coax ports that we would connect the Wi-Fi to for Wi-Fi reception. Very cool. I'm liking the look. We're not going to do the peel just yet. We're going to make sure it works perfectly first. Now this little vent here, it's magnetic. So there we go. Very easy to just kind of pull this off for cleaning purposes. And unlike the dimensional computer, see what a behemoth this is, right? This one is actually going to wind up sitting right on the desk. We're going to keep this on the desk so I can constantly clean and update anything that I might need to do. So we're going to set this over to the side here, and we're going to get a nice little view of inside the new computer. So here we are. We're going to get right on into this. You have two little screws. I might actually have to use a screwdriver on this one, guys. Now, anytime you go into your computer, you want to make sure you're not losing these. I either set them off to the side, or we'll have like a little bowl or a little tray that I put my screws in so that you don't lose them, guys. This is a nice little safety tip. Now we're going to take a look at both sides, but first we're going to take a look at the core of the computer itself. Now this is tempered glass, so always be careful when you're taking it off. And it's got some heft to it, guys, so be careful, be wise, be kind, rewind. So, just to give you guys a little bit more of a better look, don't know how well you guys can see in here. We have our cool master for the CPU. That's our cooling right here. We have some RGB fans. We have a nice large one right at the back of the computer, right at the back of the tower, and also 3 towards the front. Now one thing I'm not used to is this right here, guys. This right here is basically that holds all of our storage. If we want to add more hard drives into it, we can do it right there. We have very good size graphics card here. There is another slot right below it. If I wanted to, I could put another GPU, or I can move this from there onto here, but then you got an issue with airflow here. We don't want that. That's one of the reasons why I went with one of these. I wanted something with a little bit more proper airflow. Now, what do we have here? We have 2 sticks of memory here. Okay. That's different. With the reviews that I did, or not the reviews I did, but the ones I looked at, it showed 1 stick of memory. No, there is just 1 stick. It's a very unusual looking stick, though. Now, I mean, also, if you look at this, guys, you got a nice clean setup right here. I'm actually going to take a couple pictures, so you guys can get a better look, a more detailed look inside, and a more stock look for this. Okay? I'm going to include those in the video itself. Now, also, another thing I did was this, guys. I knew that it came with an 8 gigs of RAM. So, what did I do? I ordered more RAM. And because I knew that what's real nice is the fan on the graphics card, it actually has a red look to it, which goes perfect because I bought some red memory. Wanted something to kind of add a little bit more of a pop factor to it. I got these 16 gig, they're basically 8 gigs a piece. So I got 16 gigs of RAM here, DDR4 3200 by Crucial. This is their Ballistix gaming memory. They also were on sale for Prime Day, and I'll have a link in the description below for that as well. Got some very cool looking memory sticks right here, guys. I thought that would add a little something extra, a little oomph for the computer. Now we are gonna start it and test out the response before anything else, before we add any memory add any additional hard drives, because I do plan on taking hard drives out from the old computer and putting them into here. So now we already got this peeling off here. We'll do that afterwards. Now, one thing I'm not too crazy about is, okay, airflow. We have these fans in here, but we have mostly this plastic or glass that's right here. The only airflow we have is towards the bottom right here. Small little triangles right here. That's the only airflow we have coming in. I'm hoping that's going to be good. We'll see what happens. Now, let's take a look at the back here, okay? Let's take a look at the storage compartment. This is the first time I'm hands-on with this, so you and I are checking this out live. Well, I can't say live, recorded, and in person. Okay. You got a little indentation, little handle here, so you can pull that back, and there we go. So right now we have one SSD, 256 gigabytes right here. We have spots. We have a spot here for a second one. And if I want, I can actually put a regular hard drive down here. That's perfect because I do have a 2 terabyte from the old computer that I should be able to put right in here. Now also, I do have a lot of external storage. What do I mean? Well, let me show you guys. I have this 1 terabyte SSD. I got this a couple years back from Amazon. Toshiba, I highly recommend this brand. This has been one of my favorite ones. And I also have an older 2 terabyte external hard drive. I'm going to be replacing this bad boy with a SSD. I found one online for about $90 or so. A 4 terabyte SSD hard drive, and that's what I'm hoping to go ahead and move over to. But you see, we at least have one slot here for a hard drive, and then a second slot for a solid state once I find the right one that I want to go with. Again, a lot of good cable management here, guys. I mean, look, we have all the wiring going here. Everything's zip tied here. Everything's got a nice clean look to it. I think this is the RGB controller. I just want to make sure everything looks like it is plugged in all the way. Looks like it to me, guys. So what do we do now? Well, we're going to close this back up, and then we're going to connect everything together and see if it posts. Okay, so I just connected one of my monitors to this PC. We're going to connect the mouse and keyboard that comes with it. And then we are going to fire it up for the very first time. Peel that little sticker that they include, because like I said, if you actually look online, if you go on any YouTube link of people who actually bought their computers directly from iBUYPOWER, there's actually like foam packing in there that's supposed to keep everything protected, which we obviously did not have. Okay. Let's open this up. No iBUYPOWER branding on this box. It just simply says made in China. Not a terribly big keyboard. Kind of a minimalist version of their keyboard. Definitely got that nice, good click sound. And of course, this is supposed to be RGB as well. And let's take a look at the mouse that comes with it. There is a little book in here, but not going to worry about that right now. I don't know what this is for. I'll find out. Some little weird plastic ring right here. Got a nice little silver look to it. It's not bad. I'll give it a try. There we go. Now on the back here, again, there is a little label, little plastic label that covers all your ports. Now on the back here we have two, looks like two standard USB 2.0. We have 4 USB 3.0, and also your standard Ethernet jack, and of course the 2 wireless connectors, and of course your regular audio jacks in the back. So we're just going to go ahead and plug this in. Already got a little power to it. It's got a little red look to it. Okay, let's go ahead and connect this keyboard directly on into it, guys. There we go. One of the USBs looks a little funky as far as the jacks. That's perfectly okay because honestly, and this is lighting up already. I actually have some USB hubs there coming in, so that's what I'm going to be doing, because I always have thumb drives and other USB related items that are going to plug in. So there we go. There we go, right off the bat. Nice little breathing effect going on here. We already have it posting. Now, obviously I don't have internet plugged into it just yet, but I can take my Ethernet cord that I have for the primary computer, plug it right in. It's wanting me to start setting up Windows right now, guys. So there we are. Let's take a look at the front. Very nice look. We got a breathing effect. I still have to figure out how to change the color. Usually there's an FN. No, I will play with that later. I'll set that off to the side. And I'm going to set up Windows very quickly, guys, and I'll be right back with you. A very quick thing, guys. Now, if you recall, we had the antennas. We had the antennas for the Wi-Fi that were included, right? It's already picking up the local Wi-Fi networks here, guys. So this does have Wi-Fi in it, even though they also included the antennas. It's not bad. In case I need the antennas as a backup, that's pretty cool. But it's already picking up the local Wi-Fi networks here. Just wanted to include that. And obviously, right now, this mouse feels pretty good, actually. Even though it's got a nice little, it's got the like a cheap metal look to it, little silver right there. It's got actually a pretty nice glide to it so far. Okay, so here we are. We are fully posted. Went through some basic Windows setup. Now, what I'm actually doing is I'm actually following. There's a YouTuber I follow by the name of J2Cents. Jay's 2 cents. Amazing tech reviewer. He knows computers inside and out. And one of the things that, you know, obviously Windows is known for all of its bloatware, all of its tracking. Let's share your information with anyone and everyone. So I'm actually doing the type of setup that he actually recommends, which is doing it without the internet connection, which is what I've done. And also opting out of all their little help. So right now, this is the basic setup right here. Now, the basic Windows experience is actually saying it's 10:30 at night, which it isn't. Let me put the right time zone in here. I'll fix that. Well, I'll fix their wagon. Just date and time. We are not in the Pacific. We are in the East Coast. Because iBUYPOWER, I believe, is located on the West Coast. That's why it's defaulted as that. So go ahead and do that. No, I didn't say Easter Island. I want the East Coast. East Side? Come on, where are ya? Where are ya? Central America. No, I'm not in Central America. Eastern, there we go. It is the 29th. Time zone. I'll play with that right now. Oh, not now. I'll do that later. So there we go. It's your basic Windows setup, and we just have their default here. We do have some AMD bug, Radeon software. Let's just jump right on into that, guys. Quick setup, play, capture, share, live stream, tune, browse. So we got all the bells and whistles for Radeon. I can do a quick setup. Let's see what the quick setup's like. For those gamers who want to play games, we worry about the settings so you can focus on your gaming. Esports for the competitive gamers, with where every millisecond counts. And then standard, just your basic default settings, nothing fancy. Let's go for gaming. Okay. Very nice interface here. We haven't set up any games in here, drivers. We'll have to connect to the internet so it can get the right drivers for us. Okay, so now on here, I know you guys can't quite see it, but the interface that AMD Radeon has for the software, Adrenaline 2020 edition, it shows us our GPU, AMD Radeon RX 560. I actually paid the extra $50 because they had it at 550. I said, hey, what's $50 to go to a 560? So that's what I did. GPU, or rather CPU now. This is a AMD Ryzen 5 3600 6-core processor. So we have a few good connections here. I haven't plugged anything in yet. Let's do that right now, guys. Let's bring the internet into our new computer. It's coming to life. Do you want the PC to be discoverable? Yes, I want to be able to see my printer and everything else. Okay. Check for updates. We're going to try and update this right away. Obviously, because it has its stock software. It's already downloading new versions of the software. I want to get the gaming software, all the bells and whistles set up before we do any kind of Windows updates. At least that's what I'm aiming for, guys. Now, of course, I have a pretty good connection here. I have a 200 by 10 internet connection. I'm not sure how that's going to work with any streaming some live games. On my old computer, it did okay. We just didn't have really great picture quality. Go ahead and install that. Bob's your uncle. Hit yes. Now it's installing the software. Now, I'm not going to bore you guys while we're waiting for this. We're going to just jump back in just a little bit. Now, see, this is what I was worried about. I was trying to install new software, but because we connected the computer via Ethernet, it's not letting us because Windows is doing an update, so it's preventing us from updating this right now. A little lousy, I'll admit. There you go. You know, Windows being Windows, Microsoft, you just got to be a party pooper, don't you? So let's try this again. Install. Detecting your system configuration for driver and software compatibility. Yada yada yada. Now, while we're waiting for that to do, let's see if it will let me do it this time. It looks like it's going through. In case anyone's wondering, am I planning to go to Windows 11? Not if I can help it. From what I've seen, I'm not a fan of Windows 11 already. I have not hands-on used it. I don't like the look of it. I don't like the way that the direction they're going with it. But it's not like I really have much of a choice unless I go Linux or some other operating system on top of the Windows. So, system will restart in 1 minute and 43 seconds. Again, I'm going to pause this so you guys aren't bored to death by this. Okay, guys, so a little bit of a development. RGB, well, some of the lighting is working. So, this is what happened. As far as the controller, there is supposed to be software that's supposed to work on here, okay? I have the ASRock motherboard in here. There's supposed to be a nice little RGB program that's supposed to work right on the computer. Guess what? It's not responding, and I just spent, I don't know, about 20-25 minutes with iBUYPOWER Tech Support. And by the way, no wait at all, like maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Tremendous. So, tried several different methods. Excuse me, hiccups. We tried different methods, and ultimately they concluded that the RGB board must be burnt out. So, since it's burnt out, they're going to send me a replacement one. They gave me two options. Since I purchased this through Amazon, I could send it back to Amazon and ask for a replacement, or they can send me the replacement. So they're going to send me the replacement. Honestly, I don't want to deal with the headache, which is Amazon customer service, trying to get this shipped back and then waiting for a new one to come through. I kind of need a computer right now, so we're just going to move forward, and I should be getting a replacement component, and maybe they said about 3 to 4 business days on average. So, you know, hopefully I'll get a new part within a week or so. Until then, this is going to be set at a white breathing. So there we are. Now, right now, honestly, I've been using this mouse while I was on with their tech support, and it's actually pretty good. Now, I am going to do a follow-up video where after I set everything on the computer and actually download some games to show you guys just how well it's responding. But for an unbox, everything seems to be running very well. You know, I have a it's summertime, so obviously I have a fan on the ground. But aside from that, if I turn it off, you can only hear the computer if you literally are putting your ear right up against it. I mean, you're not going to hear it. I mean, it's running very smooth. Now, honestly, I don't feel like a bunch of air flowing through. But, I mean, one, it is summertime, so obviously, and plus, it's still going to need to be tweaked for, you know, we got to do the tweaking. We got to set everything to its optimal. Probably go through the BIOS and see if I can tool around with some of the fan settings. So I'm definitely going to be doing that. Now, just to give you guys a nice good look of the back, you just reposition you guys right there. So we have our two USB 2.0s. Okay. We have an HDMI for the motherboard. They always say go into the graphics card, not the motherboard, guys. So always do that. We have four USB Type 3 USB ports. We have our Ethernet, or if you want to be fancy, say Ethernet. We have our Ethernet port. We have our audio jacks right there. And of course, our video hookups. I wish we had two HDMIs, but we don't. But I have an adapter for this, so I can have both monitors rocking this out. And of course, we have our little Wi-Fi antennas, but we really don't need those. I just put them on just for the hell of it. There we go. They just simply screw on. You can adjust them at different angles, just like if you're in an apartment, a home, your Wi-Fi's maybe a little janky in some spots. This will help with the reception if you need that. If you need that, they just screw right in. Giggity. So there we are. Now, like I said, on the other side here, now I'm going to show you guys something. In case you're wondering about that mystery RGB board, well, that RGB board is actually on this side where we had our hard drives. And the board in question, I'm going to tilt this around. I know I'm crazy doing this while it's open. Is this little board right here, this little guy. So that's going to be interesting to try and change him out. Everything looks like it's connected properly. So, you know, it is what it is. And there we are. As far as everything else seems to be running very smooth. I mean, the response on this mouse is pretty damn good, actually. I'm gonna have to reinstall, or I shouldn't say reinstall, install all my basic stuff here, guys. And hopefully, I'm gonna have everything set up so I can hopefully do some videos, record some more videos on this computer within the next couple days. Right now I'm doing everything off of the what I like to call the laptop. So that's where we're recording this. So as far as an unbox, like I said, I definitely want to upgrade the SSD. In the meantime, I have my external 1 terabyte, which is chock full of all my goodies, and I have the 2 terabyte down there, and I also have a 2 terabyte inside the old computer. I'm going to see if I can get that to sync up and connect into this computer. And like I said, eventually I really would like to put a larger SSD hard drive in here, but in the meantime, my other drives will connect through USB, which is no problem. I have a USB hub coming in tomorrow. And like I said, I'm going to keep an eye out. I don't know if I'm going to go 2 terabyte or 3 terabyte for the SSD that's going to go right here. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think I should go with just a 2 terabyte, or do you think I should go El Gigante, go full blast to a 4 terabyte, which would have me plenty of room for me to store videos for the future? Because usually when I'm doing a YouTube video, I know this sounds terrible, after I record the video and after I make sure it's uploaded to YouTube, I actually delete it. Because, well, I just don't have the storage for it. Plain and simple. So, there we are, guys. Like I said, I'm going to include links to all the websites, including their tech support for iBUYPOWER. I'm going to leave the links to their website, Amazon's link to the page that I picked up this computer on, and we're going to be doing more updates on this, and also the salvage job for the Dimension. The original Dimension's we're going to salvage as much as we can from that, and take it from there. So, guys, as always, I know this is an ugly view, isn't it? So until next time, this is Dave from Dave's Dimension saying keep on busting, and I'll catch you on the flip side.